Right. And at this point, I will point out that there is a Facebook link out there right now, which is Marc's Bianca Paige's web presence. So those of you who are on Facebook can look to Bianca Paige Memorial and find some information about an event that is going to be part of this legacy project.
Yes, his memorial is going to be August 27th at Lowe's Vanderbilt. And then we're going down to close off Church Street and have a block party, which is what Marc wanted. He wanted to have a celebration, and he wanted to raise money. And so we're going to kind of do it all together and have fun and raise some money for very important organizations here.
Beautiful, beautiful. One of this, and I've been trying to get the speech right, but one of the, in the talk breaks that Bianca would have from the stage between numbers, he would always talk about, if you're being a sourpuss, don't be a sourpuss. Smile, leave. If you were to leave here tonight and have an accident, how you want to be remembered. And that's one of the things that I remember.
Life's too short to be bitter.
Yeah, I was going to say, life's too short to be bitter.
Life's too short to be bitter. That was his motto.
Thank you. See, I knew somebody would remember.
And then he would have a cocktail.
And then he would have a cocktail.
In fact, me and Dolly have had to remind him of that statement a little bit at home sometimes.
Oh. Goodness. Oh, well, there's just so much to remember. And Daniel, like you said, you've been writing about Marc for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you have any sort of summation impressions you want to?
The one thing that always stuck out to me about Marc was he said that one of the stories that he told me was the first time that he ever saw a drag show. He had just broken up with a boyfriend, and this was long before he had met Rita Ross or had even considered doing drag performance of any type. But he saw the drag performer, and he said that during the performance, all of that hurt and all of that angst and all of the things that made him feel bad right then just disappeared. And he said that it was then that he knew that he didn't know that he wanted to do drag, but he knew that he wanted to do that. He wanted to help take people's worries and their cares away and to entertain and to make them feel better for having met him. And that's really the story that sticks with me most about Marc. I mean, there's a lot of funnier ones, but a close friend of mine told me that she's the only lesbian in Nashville she thinks that's ever seen him in a thong. But that's another story entirely. I don't think we can do that over the air. So
that's as far as we can go with it.
That's as far as we can go with that story. But yeah, Marc was an amazing person. For myself, I know that I first was exposed to Bianca when right after I was first diagnosed with HIV, and seeing the way that she dealt with it and seeing the way that she didn't let it control her life, where she controlled it, that really, I think for me and for a lot of people, that helped us make it through, and helped us live a much better life. And I thank her for it.
Marc was the true, he was an entertainer's entertainer. I mean, he would do anything for anybody. When he went on stage to make sure that everybody that was out there in that audience, whether it be 1,000 people or one person, he wanted to make sure that they had a good time.
Mm. Daniel, you had a story that how he responded when he first found out he was positive.
Well, he was diagnosed because he had shingles, and he had lost the sight in his left eye and gone to the doctor, and they delivered the diagnosis. And in typical Bianca Paige fashion, Bianca or Marc flipped out not because he had been diagnosed with HIV, but he was worried about his performance that night. He wanted to know if he was going to be able to see, or if he needed to get appliques for his eye patch so that they would match his gown. That was the type of humor he had. He laughed at everything and didn't let anything get to him.
Right. And one of the things that I thought was really sweet was that he'd been trying to get his mother to see him for years, and she was a little resistant, it seems.
Yeah, he loved his mom, and his mom loved him, but she just never really could get past the idea of seeing him in a dress. And she was dying right before she got sick with cancer. She finally agreed to come see him, and she got brain cancer. And he ended up going up to Paducah and taking care of her. In fact, I went up a couple of times with him one last time to take her. She was a quilter, and Mark has some beautiful, beautiful quilts that she done. But we took her to the quilt show for the last time, and she never really got to see him.
Oh.
But she finally decided at the end that she did, and then she didn't get to see him.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry. That's terrible. We were also, of course, in our pre-show discussion, we have to talk about the gowns, the gorgeous outfits, the amazing things. One of you were talking about the Missionary Man piece that you just stuck in your mind.
Oh, the Missionary Man piece. The Missionary Man was the Annie Lennox, the Eurythmics song was the first song that I ever saw Bianca perform in the leather get up. It was it a 2-piece or a 1-piece? It was a 2-piece. And it was like Annie Lennox and a leather something that just got smushed together, but it was perfect. And it was amazing. It was an amazing performance. I've never seen so much done with a chair before in a drag show.
Yeah, and Mark was very big on, a lot of times you'll go out to shows and you'll see the same costumes over and over and over again. And Mark was adamant about making sure that he constantly changed his wardrobe, constantly gave you a different look. Really, really worked impeccable on that to make sure that happened.
Right. And so right now you have quite the steamer trunk full of things.
We have an attic full of stuff.
Yeah.
And we're at this point going through it now. There's going to be some stuff available for auction at his memorial. We're also putting together 2x2 memorial boxes that will be presented to the clubs here in town and the organizations here in town, so that a little piece of Mark is remembered all over. We were talking earlier. We'd love to have a place here where we had gay history here. I would, and to be able to have some type of
retrospective.
Right. And hopefully that will happen one day too, and we'll keep some stuff around to add to that too.
The big prizes, yeah. Oh, and the wigs. How many wigs did you own?
Oh, God.
Well, of course, you've seen the iconic picture of him putting on his makeup in front of the mirror with the tons of wigs over the. I mean, it's amazing.
Boxes and boxes of wigs.
Oh, wow. So again, we have the memorial, which is coming up August 27th.
Yes, it's August 27th. What we're trying to do is we're putting together 5 or 6 restaurants that would actually give money that night if you go to them first. Then everybody will meet up at Lowe's Vanderbilt at 7:30 for a silent auction cocktail hour.
Okay.
The doors are open at 8:30 for the memorial. We'll take a small break about 9:30 to finish up the auction. About 10:10, when the memorial's over, we're all walking to the front of Lowe's Vanderbilt, where we're releasing balloons in his honor. And to do something a little special, Carmela Roman came up with an idea. It's called the Bianca Kiss. So at the fundraisers that are coming up, you'll be able to, basically it's a silver disc sticker, and you write your name on it or write whatever you want to write on it, and then we put lipstick on you, and you get to kiss it. And then what we're doing is we're attaching those to the tails of the balloons, so when they go up, it'll be like a shimmering sequin celebration of Mark.
Wow.
It was a really incredible experience seeing at Pride, seeing all of these people putting on lipstick, and
the butchest lesbians and the butchest men were putting on lipstick. It was great. It was wonderful.
Bright purple lipstick at that.
Yay. Well, there's one individual who brings out the shining in everybody. It was certainly Bianca Paige. Oh, my goodness.